Hi. So today I wanted to talk about money for a little bit. My leg is killing me. One of these things, as I've talked about in a previous video, is I injured my right quadricep, and I could finally now, I'm at the point where I can actually exercise again, more than body weight. And it's sad, like I can overhead press more weight than I can squat. I have people looking at me at the gym funny as my knees are practically caving in, trying to fucking squat 85 pounds, having to take weight off the bar to do an 85-pound squat. And it's like, sad. They're giving me that "do you even lift, bro" look. And I used to have this amazing answer to the "do you even lift, bro" question. I used to go, I lift in a park. And anybody who watches the Dom Mazzetti videos, you get why that is the best answer that can be. And now when people ask that question, I got the answer of like, yeah, I do CrossFit, yoga, machines. Nothing against CrossFit, yoga, or machines, but you have to watch the Dom Mazzetti "Do You Even Lift" video to understand the humor. It's going to be a long time before I'm back to just like easily repping 235 pounds in squats, ass to grass, like probably a year or 2 years or 3. We'll see. Anyway, getting on to the point of the video, money. So a lot of people have been sending me messages since I was talking about the potential upcoming legal mess that I could be involved in, depending on how things go. And I've been getting a lot of messages saying, we want to crowdfund you, we want to create a GoFundMe, we want to donate, how do we donate, take our money, blah, blah, blah. And I want to talk about why it is, while I very much so appreciate every single one of those offers, why I haven't taken any of those offers and why I have no intention to. The first has to do with the idea itself. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe it's fair use. I believe in the right to repair. I believe in my right to take a basic manual, take one page out of that 80-page manual, and then show you a circuit that is literally practically copied and pasted from Texas Instruments sample diagram anyway into their own schematic. Take that part of the schematic, put it on the screen and go, okay, here is where 12 volts is supposed to be showing up, and here's why we have no backlight. And because there's 1 volt there instead of 12, I feel like there is nothing wrong with that. I believe that is fair use in the most fundamental, basic, educational way. If there's any argument for fair use on YouTube, if there's any argument as to what should be fair use, showing people with a manual how to take a device that is worth shit and turn it into a device that is once again worth $2,000 so that it doesn't sit in the landfill, I feel that this is a very good exercise of fair use. I believe in it. I think you believe in it. I think you should believe in it. And I think you should believe in it so much that I am willing to deal with all of this crap. Now, if I believe in this idea, and I think you should believe in this idea, what does it say if when it comes time to defend the idea, I say, you know what, I want to defend this idea, but can you guys pay for it, please? What impression does that bring? How much confidence does that show in my idea? How much confidence does that show in my defense of my idea that, yeah, I have this money sitting in the bank, and I have this profitable business, and I sit here in front of my 4K TV, my Vandersteen 3A speakers, my Rolltel 1090, my kitty with this beautiful mane from eating her fucking $2.50 cans of food all day, sit in this apartment that has a 3-second echo, when I'm not willing to put money into the defense of my own idea, but I'm asking you to put money into the defense of my idea. Yeah, I really believe in this. I think it's gonna win. I think it's a slam dunk, but hey man, yeah, I'm not, yeah, can you pay for the legal defense? No. That shows no confidence whatsoever, and it's not the responsibility of, it's not. It doesn't make any sense. I know that I am right with what I am talking about. I know that I am right to the extent that I am willing to put my own money, the keys to my store, my personal money, and my business money on the line because it's right. This is common fucking sense. There's nothing else to it. I know that I'm right. I know that if you put this in front of competent people, that they will agree with me. If I'm wrong, then, well, we'll see what happens if I'm wrong. But I believe that I'm right. And since I believe I'm right, I will put my own money into the idea. If I think now it's one thing if I were broke. If I had $20 in the bank and I'm like, I believe I'm right. but an attorney is 400 something an hour, and I have 20 bucks in the bank. Help me. That's one thing. But it's another thing to be sitting here in this apartment with my acoustic panels and my speakers and my office speakers and my store and my 4 employees that I pay a living wage to and my bank account, and to say, oh yeah, can you pay for this? Because, I think it'll go well. I think that I'm probably right, but, just in case I'm not, can you pay the legal fees? No. I would never respect somebody who did that. I can't respect people that are going to say, hey, yeah, I really believe in this cause. I believe in this cause so much that I'm going to ask you to pay for it for me. What the fuck message does that send, man? Secondly, this is where the practical part comes in. Here's what I find when it comes to attorneys or accountants or anything that other people pay for. When somebody else is paying for your attorney, the attorney is looking after the best interests of the person who's paying for the attorney. They're not looking after the best interests of you. If you're paying for your attorney is looking after your best interests. If you're paying for your accountant is looking after your best interests. If an investor is paying for your accountant is looking out for your investor's best interests. If an investor is paying for your attorney is looking after your investor's best interests. And I think some of the best examples of this actually have to do with 1990s hip-hop. And there are a lot of people that have more knowledge on 90s hip-hop than I do. But one of the shadiest things that used to go down was the artist who was great at making music, but who sucked at doing business, would walk into the record label. A record label person would say, here's a great contract to sign. And the guy would be like, and he's like, okay, you know what, the record label guy would go, you should consult an attorney before you sign this. Let me introduce you to my friend who works down the hall, Stan the attorney. And then Stan the attorney that works for the record label, that's paid by the record label, that's looking after the record label's best interests, would then talk to the client, would then talk to the new artist, and the new artist would say, okay, I get what's going on here. Yeah, I'll sign. What the fuck? You just signed a contract that was written by the attorney that works for the record label, that was reviewed by the attorney that worked for the record label. How can you possibly think this is in your best interest? This has happened to me. Not that I'm a 1990s rapper. I mean, as a business person, I have had people paying for people who are supposed to be providing service to me that were actually looking out for the best interest of an old business partner. And it doesn't always go the way that you want. You don't get protected in the same way. I want my attorney to be after my best interest. I want him looking after my risk. I want him looking after what I'm looking to accomplish. I don't want him looking after headlines for somebody else. Somebody else may be paying for an attorney because they want their specific agenda to be moved forward. That's great about their agenda. And they may think that if by helping me, it'll help their agenda. And that's great if somebody wants to help me. But I want my attorney to have zero interest in somebody else's headlines. I want my attorney to have zero interest in somebody else's goals. I want my attorney to be interested in my interest. And the way I'm going to get my attorney to be interested in my interest is by being the person who pays his bill. It's that simple. So that's the second reason. The third thing when it comes to money, and the third thing that I feel is the most important here, because I've been getting these comments nonstop, like, Louis, if you have 180,000 subscribers, if even all these people gave you just $10 to help you out, that's 1.8 million. I will literally cut them off in the middle of that, and they'll say, because you'll be rich, because some people have said that already, you'll be rich. I cut them off within just so quickly with that shit, and I go, is that the point? Is that the purpose? What will that do? And they go, well, it would pay for it. I'm like, yeah, but what would that do? Well, it would pay for defense, it would pay for this, it would pay for that, you'd have money for what? Yeah, but what would I have money for? I'd have money for what? I'd have money for what? What is the goal of the channel? The goal of the channel is not to make money. My goal as a person often is to make money. The goal of YouTube isn't to make money. Think about it. Let's say every single one of you gave me $10. Every single subscriber gave me $10. I'd have 1.8 million. Probably 1.1 or 1.2 after taxes were done with. I have 1.2 million. Yay! What am I going to do with it? I'm a guy that wears $5 shirts 90% of the time. My cat, again, my cat already eats nice cat food. I have my Vandersteen speakers. I have my Rotel amp. I have my apartment with a 3-second echo. I have my store. I have my life. I have the things that money can pay for. I'm done. In my early 20s, I had shit that money could pay for. Now, in my late teens, I am done. When it comes to money, I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. I'm not rich, but none of my desires in life are desires that, like, all the things I want to have happen are not things that have anything to do with money. When it comes to the things that are limited by money, I have achieved everything I want to in life and then some. I'm more than happy sitting in front of this beautiful 4K TV and these speakers, coming home to this apartment where I can blast music at 3 in the morning and nobody bitches at me. I'm done. I'm happy with that, right? What am I going to accomplish? What is the YouTube channel supposed to accomplish? This channel doesn't exist just to make money. This channel exists to get people excited about fixing things. This channel exists to get people to avoid all the mistakes that I've made in my life, but also to get people to become excited about fixing stuff. And it also happens to be an outlet for when I want to discuss something that's bothering me. But for the most part, I like getting people involved in this. I like getting people to think about repair. And my goal with this is I want you to watch this channel and go, man, look at this idiot. This jackass has an office that's filled with paper towel boxes open behind him, this self-made wooden shelf instead of actually having a real setup. He didn't even know there was a fucking power button on his television until his new assistant showed him that there's a power button on his TV. This guy is an idiot, and he can figure out all this. And I have a monitor sitting in my closet that doesn't work, where this guy's figuring out all this crap in less than 10 minutes and he's a moron. I want to make that work. And then I want the person watching the video who sees what an idiot I am, who sees that I can't even find a fucking power button on a TV. I want him to get a thought in his head. I'm going to figure this stuff out the same way this guy did. And I want that person, fucking mosquitoes. I want that person to go into their drawer and take out the Marantz 1060. Take out that LCD monitor that stopped working or that smoked from the back or that flickers. To take out that NAD 3020 or that Parasound 3500 and make that shit work again. And I don't even care if it's something complex. It could be something as simple as their damn car keys. When they take out their car keys and that didn't beep and now they figured out how to make it beep again, they're hooked. Not hooked on me. They're hooked on repair. They're hooked on that positive feeling that comes from taking something that's a piece of shit and making it work again. Because that's a good feeling. That's an addictive feeling. That's an addictive feeling of productivity. That is a feeling of confidence that you don't get from a lot of other places. When you can take stuff that's garbage and make it work again, that feels good. And I want people to experience that. Because if people experience that, it changes the mindset. And the problem that we have with this whole repair movement, it's not a problem with money. It's not a problem of not having money. Every one of my subscribers gives me $1,000 tomorrow. The movement will not go forward one bit because money is not the bottleneck here. The mindset is the bottleneck. 50 years ago, we were people that over the weekends that the project would be working on the hot rod. The project would be fixing the television. The project would be fixing the lawnmower. Now, the project is waiting at line in Best Buy to buy another. We have lost the culture of repair that has existed in this country. We've lost that tinkering mindset. And it's because we've lost that tinkering mindset that we are where we are today, where we have manufacturers that are literally getting people to swallow, oh, we can't even just replace your battery because it's glued to the case. We got to replace. No, this would not have flown 50 years ago. The reason it's flying now is because people stopped caring. People forgot that rewarding feeling that comes from taking the Marantz 1060 out from the den, fixing this, that, and the other, and then turning it on and for that millisecond as you turn it on, wondering, am I going to hear music or am I going to see smoke? And that feeling of happiness that comes when you hear music rather than see smoke. We've lost that. And recapturing that is what I'm trying to do. Recapturing that feeling is what I'm trying to do with this channel in an encouraging way. That's the bottleneck. And that, in my ability to do that, has nothing to do with money. So if I'm actually going to move forward with this, I need every single person watching to get interested in fixing shit. I need everybody watching to get interested in fixing shit because they felt that confidence, they felt that good feeling that comes from doing it for them. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Money doesn't help with that goal. Patreon me $10, it doesn't change your mindset. Donate $50 to some legal fund, it doesn't move the movement forward because the movement is not failing because of a lack of money. It's failing because no one gives a shit. And I'm trying to get people to give a shit. That's something that I can't do with money. Do I like money? Of course I like money. I go to work every single day trying to make money. I work to make money. My business exists to make money. When I install a security camera system, I'm charging good money. When we set up a network or a phone system, or when I fix a motherboard, I'm charging money. That is not a charity. That is a paid business. And when I am sitting in the chair at my business, virtually everything I'm doing is to make money. But when I'm here on YouTube, there's a different goal. That's a different mindset. And that mindset comes with different goals and different things I'm looking to accomplish. Money doesn't help there. So if you want to help, get someone interested in fixing things. Get them to become a repair person. Not a professional repair person. Even if you're the dude who just fixed your car keys, you are a repair person in my head. Get involved in this. When people are involved, they will start to care. And when they start to care, then when I talk about the right to repair, then when I talk about why it's ridiculous that somebody would be bothered by me showing a sample circuit for a fucking keyboard power circuit on YouTube, why this is fucking ridiculous. Regular people are not going to get that. But people who are involved in what I'm doing will get that. Now to talk about updates, because people keep asking for updates and what's going on. At the end of one of the conversations I had with an attorney today, they literally said, oh, and by the way, one last thing. Don't tell people what you're intending to do. Don't talk about what you're intending to do. It's like, fuck. They know I'm a blabbermouth. As Alice would have said to Ralph and the Honeymooners, I am a blabbermouth. I can go on forever. And I do have to, I am going to respect what the people who are older, more qualified, more educated, and above all, do this for a living, have to say regarding the situation. Obviously, by now, you can probably guess from me using Microsoft Paint in my last video what the complaint is about. But now I have to come up with what I'm going to do going into the future. Do I battle it? Do I just remove it? Do I remove it but edit certain things out? Do I edit certain things out but then put in new things that Microsoft Paint drew for me? Again, there's questions as to what the legal argument is for any one of the paths that I could go down. And I want to know what the legal argument is one way or the other before I go down that path. And the legal counsel would as well. I don't have just one attorney. I have legal counsel. I have different people who are giving me a different opinion, and they would like to do their research to figure out what the precedent is, what could be argued here. Is this something that is something? If you go down path A or B or C or D, will you win if you go down one of those paths? I don't want to go down a path before realizing if that's the path that's going to lead me to actually winning. I don't want to Microsoft Paint redraw 300 videos only to realize that that doesn't even matter. I don't want to do that if that's not something I have to do to begin with. I don't know what I'm going to do. But what I do know is that the decision that I make one way or the other is probably going to piss somebody off. Probably going to piss off a company that is named after a fruit that's the same color as this chair. That's right, Blackberry. Put your claws out. As soon as I mentioned them, her claws came out. Did you see that? That is my loyal kitty. So it's one of those things where it's like, and I'm also in contact with several organizations about this, about whether or not they want to support this or go to bat for me or not. And it's one of those things where, how do I explain this? It's like, if my friend told me, hey, Lewis, you should really respect this person's privacy, I may think, yeah, but I don't really care what you think. But then if the director of the NSA walked up to me and said, hey, Lewis, you know, you really did not respect that person's privacy. You should apologize. If the director of the NSA is telling me I don't respect somebody's privacy, then I know, you know what? You probably have a point. I'm probably wrong. Just because of who it is. If the director of the NSA is coming to me and saying, Lewis, you have no case for what you just said, that's wrong when it comes to privacy, because I wasn't respecting somebody's privacy, maybe the director of the NSA has a fucking point, just knowing how little they respect privacy. So I'm in contact with different people, different organizations, and legal counsel. I want to know what they all have to say. Because again, it's like, if Bill Maher tells me that I'm wrong for voting Democrat, there may be a chance that I did something wrong. So I want to hear what all the sides have to say. And then I'm not going to jump to providing enough. I'm not going to make a fucking decision on something this serious just because people are demanding that I give them a decision immediately. Because the way, if I do this wrong, if I do this correctly, then educational content will be able to continue existing that helps hundreds of thousands of people. And if I do this wrong, then I could fuck up and just, again, like, you want to see what happens to the places that get ICE raided, and no. And I want to play this the smart way. And there are some people, I'll get to the end of the video here, that have said, Lewis, some people think that you made this video because you want people to know who you are, you want to be recognized, and you want YouTube monetization. For shame. And what I say in some of these past videos is that there's always, every time a video that I do goes viral, there are always subscribers that I gain that I didn't want. There are all these people who don't understand the storyline. Like, one comment I remember getting a few months ago is, you should stop just talking and thinking you're going to make money, talking into a camera, and get a real job. And the person commented on 4 or 5 videos. They weren't a troll. That was genuine advice that they had. You should get a real job. And again, the reason that I don't take that as serious is because I know that you haven't followed the storyline. I have videos dedicated to why I would never consider YouTube for a primary source of income, or even a secondary source of income. And I have videos dedicated to why I want no Patreon or anything like that. And I have a store. I have a business. I have employees. And none of that shit has anything to do with YouTube. I mean, so you get these people that don't follow the storyline, right? And because they don't follow the storyline, you get these irrelevant comments. And I would argue that some of these are really... Here's what I would propose. I have a store in the middle of Manhattan. Expensive area. Expensive insurance, expensive cost of living, which means expensive employees. Everything you buy here is expensive, expensive, expensive. The taxes are high. Everything costs a lot of money. So if somebody were to say, okay, you did this video for the monetization, and yeah, I know that you have thousands and thousands of dollars of expenses every single week, but I think that you did this, I think you traded in your credibility to make $150 or $250 in YouTube monetization. What I would say there is that I don't want that person as a subscriber. I don't want that person as a follower. If their critical thinking and their ability to analyze and look at a situation is so poor that they think that for me it's worthwhile to to cash in my credibility for $250 with all the expenses that you incur as a business, as a store owner in Manhattan that pays employees a living wage, I don't want you here. I mean, I don't, there's not even much to even say in defense of it because I don't care what those people think. If somebody thinks that, if somebody can actually look at all of my bills, at all of the places that I have to spend money to be a business owner, at the level of income that my business has, and think that my priority is making $250 off of one video, you're not looking at anything at all. And if your level of analytical thinking is that low, then you're not my core demographic or my core audience. Some of the things that I realized actually that worked really well to get rid of the people that just came by, like the nasty subscribers and the trolls that just came by from the viral videos, I was actually playing Dota. And for any of you out there who do electronics repair or educational content, if you want to get rid of people who are not your core subscriber base, play a video game, do a Let's Play, and not only do a Let's Play, but be really bad at it. Make sure that you wait until it's the end of the day and you're tired and you fuck up and you're screwing up the whole game. Great. I had a lot of comments, I'm not subscribed anymore, and a lot of those people were the trolls. I think I trolled them back with Dota. It worked pretty well. But yeah, when you look at the expenses of everything I have to pay for, and you look at the income that I make, and then you look at the money that you can get from one YouTube video, it's like, if you think I would trade this for this, you're just an idiot. I mean, I don't know what else to say there. But it's one of these things where it's like, I was so fucking happy last Tuesday. You have no idea. I've been going through this legal shit. There are certain things that I genuinely will never discuss on YouTube, and what this legal thing was, I just don't want to go into on YouTube. But 3 years of on and off crap. And on Tuesday, it was over. I was done. I was so happy. It's one of these things. It's like, I was so happy last Tuesday. I found an assistant who started last week. I have somebody who's going to be taking over doing most of the board repairs that I do. I have my assistant now has an assistant. Like I came in about a week or two ago, probably a week ago, and I was about to say, hey, to my receptionist, and it's like, wait, you're not the receptionist. And it's like, who are you? And she goes, I am the assistant to my receptionist. And I'm like, wait, My receptionist has an assistant. That's how you know that you're overworking people, by the way. If you, as an employer, you know you're overworking somebody when that person takes it upon themselves to then hire themselves their own assistant. I'm like, what? He goes, yes, I am her assistant. And it's like, where is she? And she's like, oh, she will be back. So you're the assistant that was hired by my receptionist that I didn't know about. And it's funny, she's actually a fucking amazing employee. She's better than a lot of the past hires that I've had. So clearly my receptionist is better at hiring people than I am. She's learning, reassembling, just doing a great job. And I talked to her about it, and she's like, to the receptionist, I was like, oh yeah, this is my assistant. I hire her. And I wound up hiring her, properly and everything, and seeing that she does well. But yeah, I have somebody to do board repairs. I got out of a legal battle, and everybody at my business now has even workload. Like, I hired somebody to pick up the slack. I hired somebody to do my job. I'm done with legal shit. I was on top of the fucking world last week on Tuesday. And then Thursday came. And it's like, I'm just so done. It's like, I was just so done with legal shit. And it's like, I was this close. I was this close to taking a vacation. I was this close to like not having this blue thing under my eyes. I think it's kind of starting to cover the rest of my face. It's not even going to be that my eyes are black anymore. It's going to be like the skin on my face matches the color of my eye. I was planning it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take time off. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the other thing. And it's like, no. My friend Jake talks about this. I have to include him on a video in the future. He just talks about how every single time you overcome an obstacle, there's another and another. It's like life in New York City as a small business owner. If you started with nothing, life in New York City as a small business owner, it's like Mario. It's like, okay, you're done with the little fucking turtle shell thing, so now you're gonna have a flying bird come at you. You're done with the flying bird and the turtle shells, now you have like a gap in the floor, or a plant that's coming out to eat you. It's like every time you finish one fucking challenge, there is another challenge. I had 36 hours of freedom. 36 hours of no turtle shells. And it's like, because that's the thing with litigation. I was talking to somebody today about if something goes, again, they could choose to ignore, they could choose to push back, they could choose to push back a lot. There are many different ways this could go where it becomes something that I'm in for 3 to 5 years. I could be right back. Right? Like when people are like, why did you seem irritated in that video? Why did you seem a little sad or just off kilter? It's like, I'm done with legal shit. I was on Wednesday night, I was planning my vacation. I'm not kidding. I remember leaving a comment on one of Eli's videos saying, what would be your advice if somebody wants to just go on vacation to another country and just enjoy being in that other country for a long period of time? Like, there was a plan here for that. And it's like, motherfucker. Anyway, I'm at the 28-minute mark. And, maybe that's going to be how I piss people off. Because my regular subscribers watch most of the video. And that's the thing, I'm okay with the criticism back and forth, whether somebody likes it or hates it, I'm always okay with that. But what I don't get is when they're like, you have to stop making long videos. So maybe that's how I'm going to get rid of all the new subscribers that like to complain about things. I'm going to make really long videos. Like really long, obnoxiously long. Maybe I'll just put a piece of tape on my screen over the little counter for the time. I think, yeah, that could be my plan. But that's why I'm not into the money for this. That's why I'm not into the whole taking donations thing. I believe in my idea. I should be paying for my idea. I'm interested in hiring people who look after my best interests. People look after my best interests when I'm the one paying them, not somebody else. And, the money is not going to move the movement forward. Paying me Patreon money is not going to move the right to repair forward. Paying me money is not going to move any of this forward. It's not about the money. Think about this. It's in the minds of the people. The people have to care about this shit. People have to be excited when their dead phone works again because they put a $20 battery in it. This is what's going to get people excited. Mindset. And if things don't go well, you know what I think would be really fun, since a lot of people have been mentioning that my schematic looked like a grade A under A schematic. Since I mentioned Dom, imagine this. Dom Mazzetti Grade A under A, and Sonny all meet up to fix a motherboard. Think about this. I'm just conceptualizing here. This is a dream because this is probably never going to happen. But like, think about this. Grade A under A, Dom Mazzetti from the Bro Science stuff, and Sonny, the guy that worked for me 3.5 years ago. Imagine if all three of these individuals got together to do a board repair video. See, now that's a channel. That's a YouTube channel right there. That's something. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and that's it. So, yeah, don't pay me. I don't want to see any donations, none of that. It's all in the mind. Fix something.